Alrighty, then here we go. Let's finish this up. East Kingdom, Isekarl. I pointed at me twice. You know this place. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all that stuff. I want to finish this showcase, so we're finishing the showcase. I am so excited to see combat. Like, I've been waiting patiently, like a good little boy. I have high hopes, and I think that's the problem. I keep getting my hopes up. I keep getting them up there. Not that they're being crushed. Oh, far from it. They're delivering. They're delivering quite a bit. It's just more of like, I don't need to be putting so much on them. They're doing a fantastic job. So yeah, let's go ahead and finish this showcase. If you have not told me what your house is in this video, or well, in the other videos, do it in this one now, please and thank you. Let's hit that swip. We gotta swip on over. Swip. There we go. I gotta put my ear thing in. Who the hell put that in there? There we go. That's that. Yep.
To kind of interact with the environment and just engage with the world, and maybe down there he's sipping some tea with sipping with tea with your homies.
Yeah. I just no wonder you like this area because we built it for like the purebloods and Slytherins.
Oh, come on.
Well, like speaking of lived in, like the sound effects again, the chatter of the communication that's happening and the footsteps, like it just makes it feel more alive.
Little events like that, brooms going by overhead.
I hope that happens quite regularly. I hope like you could if you got bored you could just chase
was one
them.
example, but no two hallways should look the same in Hogwarts. It has a lot of personality. Every hallway should be a little bit different, and that's mostly to help orient the player.
Right.
Help you not get lost. Right. But this is Hesperus Hall. That's a little nod from the Marauders, a name that came from the Marauders map. But every hallway will have a little bit of a different personality and
personality. I like that because it does like Hogwarts has character. Hogwarts is its own character no matter where you go.
Yeah.
It feels just a little bit different.
Yeah.
a sentient castle full of magic for hundreds of years. Yeah. It's going to kind of grow and develop.
Oh,
I heard something.
Yeah. Speaking of characters.
Speaking of magic, Mr. Magic himself.
My future poltergeist too.
We talked about building on lore too. I know there's that statue over to the side.
Oh, yeah?
That's
Do you know who that is?
Lachlan the Lanky, and he's got his Bowtruckle friend. And I think if players don't know, there's another Revelio page there.
Yeah, there's a map of Argyllshire. We know the fat lady hides there.
Hides behind it. That's right.
The third book. But sometimes a hallway has personality by how it looks, or we just passed a music hallway where the portraits have kind of taken it over, and so the sound makes it really unique.
All right, I gotta call this out here. I know there's been some criticism in the past that our trailers and our gameplay and what we've shown so far has not had enough owls. Okay, so here we are at the owlry. We're looking directly at the owlry to show you all of the owls.
It's a lot of owls.
It's a lot of owls at the owlry.
I love the owls.
All of the owls are at the owlry.
No, I also love that one of my favorite things about just kind of going around on the outside of the school is that all those things that I see are places that I can go to, that I can visit. I just love that sensation knowing that is real.
That lovely Scottish countryside.
We're kind of closing out our mini tour of Hogwarts, and again, but a fraction of this enormous castle.
The
So
clock
we're closing out
tower.
here in the clock tower. So another recognizable location, but this is where Crossed Wands, which is the secret, not so secret dueling club is that the students have put together. Professors definitely know about it, but they think they're being clever. And it's run by this Lucan Brattleby here.
Who's in a younger year, but we kind of like that that he's running things.
I also like that he's a Gryffindor.
Hello, Lucan. May I use the training dummy?
Of course. I'll fetch it and give you a list of combinations to practice. Ready to have a try now?
That would be wonderful.
Be sure to cast all your spells before the dummy lands. If you need to stop practicing before you finish all of them, let me know.
And this is a really good opportunity to now jump into combat, because really in the game, this is going to be the first time where you yourself get to learn about combat and combos in a big way and in a new way. For me personally, this was where the game like really starts to open up to the possibilities.
Yeah.
So
we've set up a training
weave
dummy,
between
and
spells?
This is kind of an activity where you're supposed to execute according to kind of the iconography on the top. Now, what we see on the top is the Accio spell, followed by 4 what we just kind of lovingly refer to as basic shots. There are certain spells what the wizards kind of like use, just kind of flame. Andrew's using one now. And you trigger that by tapping R2 on your controller. So you can see in the corner R2. So if you tap R2, that throws out a basic shot. But that R2 is also your gateway to all of the spells that you might slot. So if you hold R2 instead, you can see how the diamond expands. And if we let go, you see how it contracts.
Yeah.
And so if you hold it again, it expands. And so when it expands, then all the spells that you slotted while you're holding that button can now be tapped with your face buttons.
Awesome.
And not only that, but over the course of the game, you can gain additional spell diamonds, up to 4 additional ones, so that you can slot up to 16 spells, pretty much instantly. And then that helped us fulfill the fantasy of in combat, I need to be able to access things very rapidly.
Yeah.
And so you learn over the course of these events, how to juggle not just the spell casting, but also it reinforces an understanding of another feature of the wheel, which is their cooldowns. So as you're casting spells, just to make sure that you're not just kind of like repeatedly using one thing over and over and over again, you can see cooldowns on the spells that he's using on the wheel. And then as you progress through the game, there are different things that can affect things, like cooldowns.
Okay, so
talents,
now I'm not 100% sure of what I saw, but what it seemed like he did was he did the face one, and then he did the quick R2 for the rest of the bar. Maybe.
and update those things.
Okay,
And
so he's gonna
if you hold down
raise,
R2 and you tap the D-pad, it will switch between
and then
your
smack,
other
smack,
diamonds if you
smack,
unlock them.
whatever
And that's
whatever
how you
that
actually
is.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's gonna pull it.
Looks like we're about to get some action over here.
So raise, beat the crap out of it,
So
pull it
this
in,
is- This is a great way to kind of learn.
beat the
how
crap
to
out of it. Is what I'm
put
thinking.
things together.
So you
Pull those
Leviosa
combos
right here.
together.
Yeah.
Raise it, smack, smack, smack,
Accio,
pull,
tap, tap, tap.
smack, smack, smack,
Awesome.
smack. Yeah, all right. I'm catching
And
on.
that's just against the dummy, but I mean,
I'd say that's enough practice. You looked good out there.
Thank you, Lucan.
I say better to discover one's weaknesses during practice than during a duel. You'll be a fearsome challenger now.
I think now we can take on something a little more challenging. It's going to shoot back.
So
I
let's
mean,
talk
we don't
about
have
some
to.
more features of the combat system.
Hello, Lucan. Is the next round of crossed wands all set?
Why, yes it is. I've got a great match lined up. Ready for another round?
We're on a PS5 dev kit here, so we're going to be able to kind of pause
I'm
the
ready.
action
Yeah.
and talk about what you're seeing on the screen, because there's about to be a lot going on.
Okay.
All right, here you can select if you want to fight with somebody else, some of your
One of the other
classmates.
students.
Oh,
But
cool.
in this case, we're not. We want that action to feel a little more frantic towards you to really get you that sense of.
So you could have a dueling
combat.
partner. That's cool.
So apparently you've got quite the reputation because they've got you up against 3 people.
3, yeah.
Apologies.
Off the jump.
Okay,
So
yo, you might be up against 3 people, but these these kids look like they get bullied by each other. Like, I'm sorry, I couldn't take them as like a threat.
I can explain this just because I know people are going to go into it, but we can probably just kind of jump in. You're not the only one that has Protego and the ability to deflect. The enemies do too.
As
And we
they
actually
should.
play with that when it comes to the spell casting. So you notice that there are different colored kind of shields around the different characters. And you also notice that your spells have different colors on them.
Okay.
So to help players understand kind of like the function of their spells, we try to put them into brackets. So there are damage spells, there are force spells, there are...
So you want to use a yellow on a yellow.
control
Okay,
spells.
so
And
the color
those
coding
things for
is
the player, they wind up also being a color indicator for which which actual spell to use to break the different shields that enemies can use. That way it rewards kind of like that close attention that you're paying on things.
We've got this paused here now, and you can kind of see all the elements on the screen, the halo around the avatar's head, each of the different shields, to kind of give us a breakdown of what's going on.
Give us a breakdown of different things that you're saying. So you notice at the top that we're kind of like calling out which enemy you currently have targeted and their level and health. And so, you know, as you target different characters, you'll be able to get that breakdown. The halo over your head, whenever an enemy is about to an attack, it's almost like you have a little bit of a sixth sense for those things that are coming. If you see the halo, it means there's an incoming attack, and if you tap the triangle button by default, then that you will be able to deflect that attack that comes in and off with protect.
And I love that deflect where it goes off and like hits things up and kind of breaks things off walls too.
And also, if you hold the button, then it doesn't just deflect. It also deflects and turns around with a counter attack stupefy that actually stuns the enemy. And you can use that even in your combos and stuff. So if you're focused on a character, you know, and you're doing your thing, and someone else attacks you, you can actually turn that attack into a direct attack on the person in your combo.
Back into gameplay here. Andrew's gonna pretty handily finish these other students off here. Win this duel.
How fast it is. It's like a dance.
Yeah, we really felt like in the movies, there's almost like a.
I noticed that meter down there
like
filled up.
There's this element of kind of like fencing.
I'm feeling it be a super
There were
move.
Oh,
a lot of things that we had to do with our controls and combat system in order to kind of capitalize on that idea. That's pretty unique to the Wizarding World.
Yes. Well, perhaps you should try that next time. The other duelists have already taken notice of you, but after that last round, they'll really have it in for you. You'd better keep practicing if you want a chance at winning, or at least surviving the next round. I'll let you know when we're ready. Hope to see you then. The next round is for all the gobstones, so to speak.
And that is more or less going to wrap it up for us for now, for what we wanted to show you. Character creator, tour of Hogwarts, and just that little taste of combat. But we didn't want to leave you without well, maybe a little taste of something that we may show in the future, may show next time.
All right.
You know, so leaving the castle, going out here.
More owls.
More owls, yep.
Owl mail. There's the owlry again. Yes, all of the owls. But yeah, just heading out here again to show you like from Hogwarts to the world beyond Hogwarts. And this is not somewhere where we're going today, but we will definitely be taking you in the future. A little glimpse at the scale of the castle back there. All right, so we're gonna wrap things up here, but I hope you guys have enjoyed everything that you've seen, but I think, James, you may have a few other questions here at the end of things. So while we're done with what we're showing on the gameplay side, I know there's a few things that you wanna pick Alan and Boston's brains about.
I would love that, because there's a lot. All right, so some of these questions we did pull from the community secretly, but I did pull from the community. So,
and also from, I mean, going through this, I feel like you've come up with some things you want to talk a little more about. I'm sure.
Elaborate on, because we went through character customization, Hogwarts itself, and even combat. So, this would be like for the both of you guys. Will we be able to go back and change our character creation if we don't like it?
So not everything, but there are certain things with hairstyle, hair color, so kind of like core shapes, you know, like with the body and face, not after the fact.
I had imagined that, like, because they made a witch and wizard thing that was going to definitely be like a crucial choice. It was going to affect like how things were gonna go forward. You're probably not going to be able to change your name. You might be able to change your name, but you're probably not going to be able to, is what I'm thinking. And then, like... Yeah, I mean, like, a good chunk of the stuff you'd probably just be able to touch up on. But, like, yeah, the big things, like... The big changes, yeah. I had figured something like that would be limited.
Lots of things. There's kind of like a barber shop in Hogsmeade that you can go to, and
Of course, there's
inside
a wizard
there,
barber,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You could change your hair color for holidays or something, right?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cool.
The game features a lot of appearance customization in it, so there's a ton of options there. But that's in terms of like your character and stuff that you have, the character creator. It's like a smaller set of what you saw there.
Okay. Oh my gosh, awesome. Next question: what kind of leisurely activity can we do? Can we study with our free time?
Yo, okay, if we could study in our free time, that would be kind of cool. Like, I like, clearly it's gonna be like, there's no way. Clearly, at most, you're looking at like, maybe you could find like those field guides or like lore books. You could do that. You could just discover the mysteries of Hogwarts just as you're roaming around between like main missions and stuff like that, I imagine. But like, see, like, I'm just trying to knock down everything. Oh my god, I feel like it's just gonna feel like I got spoiled on like multiplayer games, and this is literally something that just needs to have it. You know, this is just something you just need to get with your friends and go be magical kids together. Just go be magical schoolgirls together is what you need to do.
I mean, what will we be doing just hanging out in Hogwarts?
Because as you progress through the game, there's a bunch of different missions that open up. Most of them are driven by different characters' personalities. You know, some of them want help getting up to hijinks, or some of them want to just explore secrets in the castle because there are new secrets in our castle.
I do like that you kind of engage with a person to go do that, but like, unless if there's like, I hope there's like gonna be more of like a follow system thing, because we weren't really shown that. We were shown you walk to a person, you talk to them, then you go do the thing, and then you'll probably talk to them again, and then that would be the end of it. But like, if there's actually a little bit more running around, it is kind of cool that you can pull people into things. That is neat. But because of the fact that like you can't run around with like your friends, being able to run around with in-game friends is like a good substitute, if you ask me.
And so I think there's a bunch of things to do, and when it comes to class, as I mentioned earlier, it's not just kind of like the mainline stuff. There are kind of like extracurricular assignments, some of which are optional, some of which are kind of like blockers for main mission. Kind of like you can't go on this mission until you have the spell, and then the spell is open. You know, the assignment and how you complete it with your professor. And so there are opportunities to study, so to speak, like with that.
I do like that you can just do an extracurricular activity that isn't, you're probably not going to get anything other than like maybe some experience. That be about it. Like, other than for your personal enjoyment or your personal choice to do something like that. That's pretty cool.
But they do all take the form of our mission structure.
As you mentioned earlier. Wow. Let's get into some combat right quick. Do spells have different levels, or are they all equal?
Ooh.
Spells have different levels, or are they all equal? I'm trying to think of how to describe that. So each spell has kind of like its own core identity and what it does in the game with regards to both kind of like puzzling, world exploration, and enemy combat and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then it's through the talent system. Right? Okay. When you go into that, it's kind of like each of those spells has ways to kind of like advance and grow and change. And as you spend talents, in some cases, it even changes like the way you approach the battlefield and things like that. So I'd say that's no more true than with like dark arts, for example.
Right.
And as you go down that line and you kind of play around with those talents, it really does start to kind of like affect even.
See, like, this is where, like, I kind of hope, like, they haven't delved into it, so, like, I don't need, it's like, it feels like it's not going to be the case, but I'm hoping for it. And that's like something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, to where, like, you have a build that you can make. Like, you can set your wizard to be unique in whatever particular way, and how they go about and do combat and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, sure, you can play the game in a particular way, but if everyone's getting like the same stuff, sometimes you'll just realize that, okay, ... works the best in this situation, ... works the best in this situation, and then it just becomes like a little bit more dull. So, like, I'm hoping there's a bit, at least a little bit of, like, a build mechanic to where, like, I can focus on this thing and I can see what that leads to.
How you approach combat and how you think about the battlefield.
I won't be touching the dark art stuff, but I know many of you guys will be.
Maybe on your second playthrough?
Yeah, second playthrough, yes.
Okay.
Dark Hufflepuff coming, hashtag soon.
Dark Hufflepuff coming.
I want to close off with this question, and this will be for everybody, and we'll start with Boston. With this game that you guys have been working on for however long, and the excitement you guys have, what's one aspect of Hogwarts Legacy that you are excited for the fans to experience? Boston.
I think I'm just excited for the fans to play through the world, specifically the castle, and maybe go read those books again. I hope that whether you're already a fan and love this game, or this is your first introduction into the world, I hope they just point at each other in the best way possible. And I'm just excited for fans to get to finally go to Hogwarts and feel like they can own it and live there. I've lived there for 5 years. It's a great place to live. Official 5th year.
It's really funny because I want to give a different answer, and I will. But I actually feel like the most honest answer is really similar. Because my favorite thing when running around, playing the game, and getting to know Hogwarts the way Boston knows it, because she knows the school and the lore better than I do, and thank God, right? Because you want the person architecting it to really know that. But when I rewatch the films or I'm rereading passages from the books, there's a different relationship to those things having played the game.
Right.
And so it's really looking over the edge and seeing location. I'm like, oh my God, I'm right there. And in the movie saying, I know it's around that corner in the film. Like if you go down this way, there's actually a thing over here, and there's this person over here. This thing
that's
happened,
cool.
And it just adds all this richness to everything that you.
Yeah, that's why I like the
Nice
older
that you're gonna
games.
add your own story.
Yeah.
So you know what happens around that corner because you did something.
Yeah.
And then the quick answer, just to have something different, is I just love being on a broom. I just love looking at the whole world and just being like, okay, I can just go.
I can go there.
That vantage point,
There's just something exhilarating about it that feels very different in that kind of open air and on that thing. It just it's kind of incredible. Yeah.
And wrapping it up, for me, it's just bringing the community together with it and sharing those stories, because it is your story, and you are going to be writing. This is your unique experience within this, and even within the things that are the same, it's going to be your unique experience. It's different from mine. It's different from. We're all approaching it from different places, and I think that's going to be really cool the way that everybody brings those things together. All right, and that's everything that we have to show you today. I know maybe it wasn't everything you wanted to see, but it was a whole lot of stuff. Character creator, a little mini tour of Hogwarts there, just a small part of it, a little bit of combat. And we do have some more stuff coming up for you in the future. Hogwarts Legacy releases on February 10th, 2023, and is available for pre-order now. But that's going to do it from us. We're going to leave you with a little something else. But for now, bye.
Bye.
I need to pre-order it. I need to remember to pre-order it. It's what I need to do. What am I being left with? Okay, all right. So before we move on, or before I close out, I'm going to at least do some justice. That being said, I'm not the best with names or faces. So we're gonna go back to the beginning here. We're gonna go ahead and mute it. So what we have is, or who we have. Okay, so we had the community manager, Chandler Wood. I at least remember that bit. Let's see. James Whitehead of XpectoGO. Thank you. Subtitles. He was a guest host of XpectoGO. I actually don't know anything about XpectoGO. I have no idea what that is. I'm guessing it's like a thing where it just does Hogwarts Legacy stuff. And then we had the game director and the senior artist. Is that how that worked? Maybe I should actually go back a bit. Yeah, game director Alan 2. I hope that's how you pronounce his name.
Game director Alan 2.
Alan 2. Yep.
And senior environment artist and Hogwarts expert Boston Madsen.
And Boston Madsen. Those were all of those people that gave that awesome freaking showcase. Oh wait, hold on, don't worry, I got you, Andrew. He's the one I remember. I got you, Andrew, don't you worry. There he is, marketing artist Andrew Corum, I think is how you say his name. The Hufflepuff that had to stay off screen. So yeah, they did this awesome showcase. That I love it. I love it when they do stuff like this. When the team get together and do stuff like this. Back in the early mid 2000s, the freaking 2014 era, whatever, when DCUO first came out, they did I remember the community manager maps and then in Spittle, I think he was the game director. Maybe I'm butchering that, but either way, they would get on every week or at least often enough, and they would stream new things that were coming out, and I love it. I love that when they reach out to the community and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and switch that back. So yeah, that was the showcase. I will definitely make sure to have the link in the description of all the videos that I put together, so you could just watch it without me getting involved in any kind of capacity, if that is something that you want to do. I hope you guys enjoyed my little commentary and tidbits and all that goodness regarding it while you were here and stuff like that. It's even if I can't do what it is that I'm hoping for, which is I hope there is just enough of a diversity when it comes to combat. I hope I could get on the game, and I'm not necessarily asking for all different spells. We could have access to the same spells or whatever, but I don't know, just something to make my character a bit more unique because of something that my character does that someone else's character doesn't, right? Something like that. I always find that sort of aspect a lot of fun. But either way, what they have showed is more than enough to get me just completely absorbed into the world and everything, and I absolutely love that it is just a fantastic, I love it when the game developers are just they haven't lost hope yet. I feel like a lot of game companies stop being gamers and or stop being about like what it is that they're trying to make and just be about the business aspect. This clearly every single one of them loves what it is that they were trying to build. They love it wholeheartedly, and it is absolutely fantastic. So, this is Isa Kingdom. I'm Isekarl. I hope you guys did enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Comment your house, please, and thank you. And till next time, and I tackle like some other thing. Check out these end cards. Love you guys. Bye.